And I love to sprinkle flowers on everything. My tart, my latte, my child.
Sometimes it's just some in-law. Because she's complaining. I'm like, what the f she talking about?
It is important to say that you're not getting paid for this interview.
Correct.
But I do. So, you ready?
Yes.
A lot going on to the news. My God, it's so crazy out there. What's going on with Meghan Markle?
When Chris Rock walked out onto that Netflix stage, Meghan Markle probably wished the internet would just disappear for a whole week. Seriously, this wasn't one of those soft celebrity shoutouts where everyone laughs politely and moves on. Chris came out swinging, and the second he started talking, people already knew things were about to get messy fast. He didn't just crack a few harmless jokes and keep it moving. Nah, he went straight into the royal drama and tore into the whole situation with zero hesitation. Every punchline landed hard, and social media instantly exploded with reactions. People were clipping the jokes, posting memes, arguing online, and replaying every single line like it was some kind of championship moment. The crowd was losing it, while millions watching at home were sitting there shocked at how bold he really got.
Like, what's this girl, Meghan Markle? Oh, seemed like a nice lady. Just complaining. I was like, didn't she hit the light skin lottery? Hit the fucking light skin lottery and still going on complaining.
And honestly, the way he framed the whole Meghan and Harry situation made their once glamorous image look completely different. For years, they tried to present this huge modern fairy tale story. The prince, the actress, the royal escape, the interviews, the documentaries, all of it. But after Chris Rock got through with his routine, that polished image started looking way less magical and way more chaotic. Instead of some powerful love story, people online were comparing it to a celebrity reality show that spun out of control. He sliced through the royal headlines like it was nothing, then kept piling on joke after joke with that sharp delivery he's known for. And the wild part was that he sounded completely unbothered while doing it. That made the reactions even louder because people knew he was saying the kind of stuff a lot of others were too nervous to say publicly.
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard and
Trying to be a victim.
By the end of the set, the internet was on fire. Supporters rushed to defend Meghan, critics were celebrating every joke, and news outlets immediately started breaking down the entire segment line by line. One comedy routine suddenly turned into another massive chapter in the non-stop royal media circus. But honestly, none of this chaos came out of nowhere. Long before Chris Rock grabbed that microphone, cracks were already starting to show behind the shiny royal image. What once looked perfect from the outside slowly started turning into a public mess filled with tension, headlines, interviews, and non-stop drama waiting to explode. On stage during his Netflix special, Chris Rock went directly at the racism accusations tied to Meghan Markle. And the second he brought it up, the entire room got tense fast. People already knew he was about to say something risky, but nobody expected him to lean in that hard with so much confidence. He wasn't tiptoeing around the topic or trying to soften the blow either.
But seriously, it's got to sell the mommy lifestyle. And it's got to be all about me. But not seem like it's all about me. In California, we're just a regular couple living close to Oprah and far from the paparazzi.
Woo.
But not too far.
Chris delivered the jokes with that calm, sharp style that makes the punchlines hit even harder, because he sounds completely serious right before the crowd explodes laughing. Then, he locked onto one of the biggest talking points from the Oprah interview, Meghan claiming she didn't really know much about the royal family before marrying Prince Harry. Chris reacted to that story like somebody just told him they'd never heard of the internet before. The look on his face alone had people laughing before he even got to the punchline. He dragged the moment out perfectly too, acting confused, almost impressed, like he was trying so hard to believe it. The audience could already tell he was setting something up. He smiled, nodded along, and played into the story for a second, like he fully bought it. That's what made the next part land so hard.
Lot going on in the news. My God, it's so crazy out there. What's going on with Meghan Markle? She thinks that everybody is just stupid. Like we can't see that she is manipulating his dumb husband.
Right when the crowd relaxed, he flipped the whole thing around with a brutal punchline that completely shredded the claim in seconds. The theater erupted instantly, and online clips of the joke started spreading everywhere almost immediately. What made the moment hit even harder was how casually he delivered it. Chris didn't yell or force the joke. He just let the silence hang there for a second, then dropped the line like he knew everybody in the room was already thinking the exact same thing.
I really feel sorry for the family. Maybe everybody's fixated on how good looking this guy.
That slow buildup made the reaction even crazier. But he still wasn't done. After tearing apart the "I didn't know the royals" story, Rock turned toward the biggest controversy surrounding Meghan and Harry, the claims about concerns over skin color inside the royal family. The second he moved into that topic, the room got quiet again, because people knew this was the part that could really shake things up. And somehow, with one sharp observation, Chris managed to turn the entire situation into another massive laugh.
Racist is so racist. Some of that he went through was not racism. It was just some in-law.
He questioned the story in a way that instantly got the crowd roaring, while also making the whole claim sound shaky and awkward at the same time. For a split second, there was stunned silence, then the audience completely lost it. By that point, the message was obvious. Chris Rock wasn't worried about backlash, angry headlines, or online outrage. He came into that special ready to swing at one of the biggest celebrity stories in the world, and he wasn't pulling back even a little bit. And after that performance, it felt like the floodgates opened. Suddenly, comedians everywhere started taking shots at Meghan and Harry. Late-night hosts, podcast comics, stand-up specials, social media creators. Everybody wanted in on the conversation. Each joke got louder, messier, and more brutal than the last, turning the royal drama into one giant comedy target that just kept growing. The American comedians had their own way of going after Meghan and Harry.
Going on Oprah, I didn't know. I had no idea how racist they were. It's the royal family. You didn't Google these motherfuckers? What the fuck is she talking about? She didn't know.
And unlike the polished royal reporters trying to stay careful with every sentence, stand-up comics came in loud, reckless, and completely unfiltered. Once the royal drama became comedy material, there was no slowing it down. Every comic wanted their shot, and the jokes kept getting more aggressive with every new special podcast clip and late-night appearance. Guys like Andrew Schultz didn't waste time trying to sound diplomatic either. He skipped the careful celebrity language and jumped straight into the harsh opinions a lot of Americans were already throwing around online. Schultz joked about the nonstop interviews, the public complaints, and the constant headlines surrounding the couple like he couldn't believe they were still talking about royal life years later. His style was blunt, fast, and savage, which made the clips spread everywhere on social media almost instantly. But while Schultz brushed the whole thing off with straight-up sarcasm, other comedians took a different angle. Nikki Glaser, for example, leaned harder into the idea that Meghan's story wasn't exactly the glamorous fairy tale people expected at the beginning.
Oprah, they're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby was gonna be. They're so racist. They wanted to know how brown the baby's gonna be. I'm like, that's not racist. Because even black people want to know.
Instead of focusing only on the royal family drama, Glaser joked about ambition, celebrity culture, and the pressure that comes with chasing fame in the public eye. In her version of the story, Meghan looked less like a princess living a dream life, and more like someone who stepped into a situation expecting luxury, admiration, and nonstop attention. Only to realize royal life came with endless rules, pressure, criticism, and cameras watching every move. That contrast became the punchline, the image of someone expecting red carpets and freedom, but ending up buried in royal protocol gave comics endless material to play with. And Glaser didn't stop there either. she pushed the joke even further by imagining what Meghan's life could have looked like if she had never married Prince Harry at all. Instead of royal castles and worldwide headlines, the comedy version painted a chaotic celebrity lifestyle full of auditions, influencer deals, Hollywood networking, and desperate attempts to stay relevant in entertainment circles. The audience ate it up because the exaggeration made the whole thing sound ridiculous and believable at the same time.
Harry and Meghan, America don't give a about you. We don't care about the royal family. We never cared about nothing that had to do with y'all. 1775 was the last time we gave.
But the roasting didn't stay inside stand-up comedy clubs for long. It spread into animated satire, TV parodies, internet sketches, and basically every form of comedy that could turn royal drama into entertainment. One of the biggest examples was the animated series The Prince, which went all in, mocking Harry and Meghan's post-royal image and their business moves after leaving the monarchy behind. That show didn't hold back at all. Instead of treating them like serious public figures, it portrayed them as fame-hungry celebrities, constantly chasing money, media attention, and branding opportunities. Every episode pushed the joke harder, turning their interviews, projects, and public appearances into exaggerated comedy chaos. And honestly, the animated version of Meghan got hit especially hard. The show painted her as someone desperate to stay in the spotlight at all times, always chasing headlines, cameras, and celebrity status, no matter what was happening around her. The Satire exaggerated every public appearance and every media deal until it became a running joke about fame obsession and image control. But even the prince looked tame compared to Spitting Image. That puppet show went after Harry and Meghan with absolutely zero mercy. The sketches portrayed Harry as trapped in endless emotional interviews, where every conversation sounded like a therapy session mixed with celebrity PR coaching.
If she didn't marry him, she would be on The Bachelor this season, fighting for Prince. She would be Meghan M. from Sherman Oaks barista. She just got lucky. She got so lucky.
In the parody world, every answer became another dramatic speech about royal life, media pressure, or personal struggles, while reporters sat there pretending it was groundbreaking news. The British satire also painted Harry as completely disconnected from reality. A guy who walked away from royal duties, only to end up floating through expensive interviews, documentaries, and media deals without any clear direction. The jokes made him look lazy, frustrated, and stuck in a cycle of public complaining while the world kept rolling its eyes harder each time. By then, the royal drama had fully crossed over into comedy culture. It wasn't just one joke anymore, or one comedian trying to get attention.
It's important we do this ourselves, Harry, and not live off your family.
I agree. We'll just have to find a way to make £50 billion on our own.
Harry and Meghan had become one of the biggest celebrity satire targets in the world, with comics, cartoons, and parody shows, all taking swings from every possible angle. The show kept pushing the idea that Harry never truly let go of royal life, even while publicly saying he wanted distance from it. In the parody version, he came across like someone trying to escape the monarchy while still hanging on to every title, every headline, and every benefit connected to it. That contradiction became one of the biggest running jokes, and the writers leaned into it hard every chance they got. Then came the Netflix deal, which satire shows absolutely loved tearing apart. The jokes painted the massive contract as less of a creative partnership and more like a giant payday built entirely around royal family drama. In the comedy sketches, Harry and Meghan were shown turning private royal tensions into streaming content, interviews, documentaries, and endless media projects designed to keep public attention locked on them. The satire kept hammering the same criticism again and again.
My name is Meghan Sussex now. Call me Meghan Markle one more time, Mindy fucking Kaling.
That Harry claimed he wanted freedom from the royal machine, while still benefiting from the exact connection he said he was leaving behind. That became comedy fuel everywhere online because creators saw the contrast as impossible to ignore. Every new interview, documentary clip, or public appearance only gave comedians and internet creators more material to work with. But the mockery didn't stop with cartoons, TV parodies, or stand-up comics. Social media creators jumped in too, and once that happened, the internet basically turned the whole thing into nonstop meme content. TikTok creators, YouTubers, reaction channels, and podcast hosts all started picking apart Meghan's public image from every angle, especially after clips from her cooking and lifestyle content began circulating online. One moment in particular exploded everywhere.
Thank you, and goodbye, said William's hair. Yes,
all right. Prince William and Prince Harry, everybody. What is this?
During a conversation with Mindy Kaling, Meghan awkwardly corrected her for using her maiden name instead of her royal title. The exchange instantly caught people's attention because the moment felt stiff and overly serious, especially for what was supposed to be a light, casual conversation. Within hours, clips of it were spreading across social media with reaction videos, edits, and parody remixes flooding timelines everywhere. The internet treated that moment like comedy treasure. Creators replayed the clip over and over, adding dramatic music, fake reactions, exaggerated edits, and sarcastic commentary that turned a simple correction into a full-blown viral joke. Some people mocked the awkward delivery, while others joked about how carefully polished the entire interaction felt. And once creators locked onto that clip, they started going after Meghan's entire lifestyle image too. Her cooking and lifestyle content became a massive target for parody videos, especially from creators who felt the show focused more on aesthetics and branding than actual substance.
Michael, we like to apologize. Unfortunately, William's hair was unable to make it this evening. It's devastating.
Oh, bravo, hilarious, yes.
The criticism online was that everything looked overly staged, perfectly lit, and carefully curated, while ordinary moments were treated like life-changing discoveries. That became the main joke running through countless parody videos. Creators exaggerated the slow camera shots, dramatic presentations, and emotional storytelling around simple activities, making it seem like everyday tasks were being presented as groundbreaking luxury experiences. The internet absolutely ran with it because the format was easy to imitate and even easier to roast. Some of the parodies were so accurate that viewers could barely tell the difference between the joke version and the real clips at first glance. That's what made the mockery hit so hard online. The exaggeration felt close enough to reality that people instantly understood the punchline. And after that, creators stopped holding back completely. Every new clip, interview, appearance, or brand move quickly turned into fresh material for another wave of internet jokes, memes, and brutal commentary. Creators and comedians didn't just focus on the royal interviews or the Netflix deals either.
Welcome to season 2. It's the same as season 1. Some people says it feels staged. I feel like it's perfectly staged. For my guest, I'm thinking a super easy caramelized onion tart. It only takes 4.5 hours of really slow onion cutting.
They started digging into the more dramatic parts of Meghan's public story. And once that happened, absolutely nothing was off limits anymore. Online parodies, late-night jokes, and sketch shows kept revisiting stories about family tensions, public fallout, and emotional interviews, turning moments that were originally presented as serious into non-stop comedy material. One major topic creators kept circling back to was Meghan's difficult relationship with her father. Comedians exaggerated the family drama so much that it became almost impossible to escape online. Some sketches portrayed the situation like a soap opera with endless dramatic twists, while internet creators turned emotional headlines into sarcastic reenactments and reaction videos. The contrast between serious storytelling and exaggerated internet humor made the clips spread even faster. Then there were the stories surrounding Harry and Meghan, stepping away from royal life and leaving the UK. Satirical creators took those moments and blew them up into over-the-top scenes about escaping royal pressure, like it was some giant Hollywood action movie. Some parody videos showed dramatic fake trailers, emotional music, and exaggerated narration, turning personal decisions into full-on comedy skits that made audiences crack up online. At this point, Harry and Meghan had basically become permanent roast material in entertainment culture.
This is my jam. No, literally, I made jam. So sweet. Ricotta, ricotta. Everyone knows ricotta.
Their story had everything comedians love. Family drama, celebrity fame, royal titles, interviews, public arguments, luxury lifestyles, media battles, and non-stop headlines. For comics, it was endless content. Every few months, another interview or public appearance would drop, and comedians immediately had fresh material ready to go. Late-night shows especially kept coming back to them over and over again. American comedy programs treated the royal drama like a goldmine because audiences never stopped reacting to it. Monologues, sketches, celebrity impressions, fake interviews, the jokes just kept coming year after year. One of the biggest examples was Saturday Night Live, which repeatedly mocked the relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry through recurring sketches. The show leaned hard into the idea that the brothers had become painfully awkward around each other, almost like two relatives forced to sit through an uncomfortable family dinner while secretly wanting to argue the entire time.
Hasn't gotten traction yet. No one's picked up my book proposal yet.
Yes.
I haven't found my soulmate yet. Everything is yet.
The power of yet.
The power of yet.
The comedy version of Harry was usually portrayed as frustrated, defensive, and constantly reminding everyone he was treated like the spare. Meanwhile, the fake William character would respond with smug little jabs that made the tension even funnier. The sketches worked because they exaggerated the real-world headlines people had already been following for years. One moment that really stood out was when the parody version of Harry mocked William's hairline, something comedians have joked about for years. But instead of sitting there quietly, the fake William instantly fired back by dragging Meghan's acting career on Suits. The sketch made it clear that if Harry was going to throw personal shots, he should expect them right back. And honestly, that comeback hit hard in the sketch, because it completely flipped the energy of the scene. Suddenly, Harry wasn't controlling the joke anymore. He became the punchline instead. The audience reaction in the studio was huge because people love watching roast battles, where both sides keep escalating the insults. Then SNL pushed it even further. The parody version of William joked that Suits was so boring, it could work as a sleep aid, which instantly turned the whole exchange into a full-on roast session aimed at both Harry and Meghan at the same time.
Meghan, how are you?
I'm good. Yeah.
And how's your family?
Good. Everyone's good.
Yeah.
Being a mom to Aerosol and Lululemon is one of the greatest pleasures.
The line landed because it mixed royal family drama with celebrity career jokes in one quick hit. The sketch absolutely nailed the image of two brothers who can barely survive a conversation without taking passive-aggressive shots at each other. Every interaction was written like years of tension were bubbling under the surface, ready to explode over the smallest comment. One minute they'd pretend to be polite, and the next minute they'd be throwing sarcastic insults across the room, like teenagers arguing at a family gathering. That's what made the sketches so popular. SNL didn't portray them as elegant royals living in some untouchable world. The show made them look like dysfunctional siblings trapped in an endless public feud, constantly trying to embarrass each other while the entire world watched for entertainment. All right, Prince William and Prince Harry, everybody. The second those names came up in comedy sketches and late-night routines, audiences already knew chaos was about to follow.
Every day for 10 years. For 10 years, I was bullied and attacked. Every day, I was the most trolled person on the internet, man or woman. No one was more trolled than I was. And I'm still here, you know. I get up in the morning and I put on my $26,000 watch and somehow I make it through.
At that point, the royal drama had become one of the biggest comedy targets anywhere online or on TV. Every joke landed because people were already familiar with the tension, the interviews, the documentaries, and the nonstop headlines surrounding the brothers. But then things escalated into a completely different level of mockery. The comedians had already taken their shots. The late-night hosts had milked the drama for years. Social media creators were flooding timelines with memes and parody clips nonstop. Then the cartoon world stepped in and turned the whole thing into animated destruction. And when it comes to savage animated satire, almost nobody goes harder than South Park. The show dropped an entire episode centered around Harry and Meghan called the Worldwide Privacy Tour. And the second it aired, the internet exploded with reactions. People were posting clips everywhere because the episode wasted absolutely no time jumping straight into the biggest criticism aimed at the couple, publicly asking for privacy while constantly staying in front of cameras, interviews, books, documentaries, and media headlines. South Park exaggerated that contradiction in the most ridiculous way possible.
I know when I ran away from the orphanage and was homeless, I was being doxxed and threatened online.
No, well, mine was much worse, and you should probably wait your turn to speak because I'm speaking right now. It's about me at this moment, so we'll get to you in a moment.
In the episode, the royal couple traveled around making loud public appearances while demanding privacy at the exact same time. The joke kept repeating over and over, with giant signs, public speeches, media tours, and dramatic attention-grabbing moments, all happening while they claimed they just wanted to be left alone. The more they insisted on privacy, the louder and more chaotic everything became. The humor worked because the show pushed the contradiction so far that it became impossible not to laugh at the absurdity of it. South Park has always been known for taking public controversies and stretching them to insane extremes, and this episode was no different. They turned the royal image into one giant walking punchline. But Meghan wasn't the only target in the episode. The show went directly at Harry too, especially when it came to his memoir and public interviews. The parody painted him as someone born into unbelievable privilege who still spent most of his time talking about how difficult his life had been. South Park exaggerated that idea constantly, turning Harry's emotional storytelling into a running gag throughout the episode.
If you're a busy mom like me, I have a simple, no-fuss way to make your kids' school lunch every morning. Let me show you how I made this.
Every time the cartoon version of Harry appeared, he seemed frustrated, upset, or emotionally exhausted, while dragging around a long list of complaints and personal grievances. The show leaned hard into the image of him constantly trying to explain himself to the world, while nobody around him really knew how to react anymore. Meanwhile, Meghan's animated character was portrayed as highly image-focused, ambitious, and obsessed with public attention. The satire painted her as the driving force behind the media appearances, branding, interviews, and publicity moments, while Harry followed behind trying to support the narrative. Together, the two characters became this chaotic celebrity duo, constantly demanding sympathy while staying directly in the spotlight. And then came the moment people online wouldn't stop talking about. Near the end of the episode, South Park delivered one final joke that many viewers saw as the knockout punch. Meghan's cartoon character casually dropped a line that suddenly exposed the massive contradiction the entire episode had been building toward all along. In one quick moment, the show basically tore apart the polished, "we just want a quiet, normal life" image by showing how much attention and publicity surrounded everything they did. That final scene instantly blew up online because viewers felt like South Park had summed up years of criticism in one brutal joke. The episode didn't just mock celebrity culture or royal drama. It turned the entire public image surrounding Harry and Meghan into one giant satire about fame, attention, branding, and contradictions. And because it was South Park, the punches came fast, loud, and completely without mercy. And that so-called normal life Harry and Meghan keep talking about? Family Guy jumped in next and completely shredded that image too. At this point, it almost feels like the animated world has its own non-stop royal drama league, with South Park and Family Guy taking turns roasting every contradiction tied to the couple's public image. What made it even crazier was how Family Guy used Harry's own public comments as part of the joke. The episode twisted his words into comedy so smoothly that it felt like even the cartoon version of Harry couldn't stop reminding people why the internet keeps clowning the whole situation. Every little detail became another punchline. And honestly, the mockery just keeps feeding itself over and over again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on the non-stop royal comedy chaos.